Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, featuring today a 1 vs 1. Yes, indeed, a 1 vs 1 or 2 vs 2. I do know a lot of people want them, or some people do. But again, it's so much harder to find them in company with anyone that are good to watch. I mean, that's rather the problem. And again, I keep saying it, and there's always some poor fellow that keeps missing it. I do want to cast them, but again, it's much harder to find a good one, so that's why I largely stick with 1 vs 1s, because it's much easier to have something decent. Anyways, we are looking at the Monday Novice fight, though, so obviously being decent here is not the priority, quite in fact, the opposite. And of course, there's still always the ones who go like, well, this was a noob fight. And to which the question is, well, who's the real noob? The one who walks into a Monday Novice fight expecting something different, or, you know, the guy who sends it in? To which I say the guy who walks into a Monday Novice fight and expects something much higher leveled. We shall be watching OsisGreen fighting for the 16th Luftwaffe Division, mein Herr. Opposing him shall be Voules. I think it's, anyways, how I want it pronounced. Voules, or she does, I suppose. There are some females playing this game, and of course I shall not be the one to tell them not to. But Voules is fighting for the Commonwealth, fighting for the 1st Canadian Infantry Division. For Canada, boys. I can't really work off a Canadian accent, partly because I'm not quite sure how it's done. It's sort of a large like an American, and then you have some weird things with boots or boats. I'm not entirely sure if it's a boat or a boot. A boat. Oh well. Anyways, headquarters setting up for the Voules. Obviously, within the first few minutes, we already have a clear idea of what OsisGreen is intending. Something involving taking up and vehicles. I mean, otherwise he'd gone for munitions and thus, you know, focused more on the infantry. But no, he's focusing on the fuel. Lieutenant a bit on its own here. Decent capping order. He's, you know, keeping the lieutenant sort of a bit more away from the nasty things. From OsisGreen, missing 3 pioneers up. Now things are getting slightly more trigger-acting, an MG42 out. To this 3 pioneer start, he's obviously hoping to catch some Brits and push them back. So obviously we're seeing a slightly more static, slower approach method from OsisGreen and the 16th Luftwaffe Division. Pioneers rushing straight into the recce section. OsisGreen pulling away, though a bit too slow. Schwimmwagen moving up. Schwimmwagen might have been provided by some other unit nearby. Opening up there on the infantry section. MG quickly shifting about, taking up position in the house. And of course that is something that you do see a lot more novice fights. That is basically just moving about MGs between houses, hoping to suppress some poor sod. Infantry section up there, Lieutenant. Well, in this case, he might actually just retreat. It would have been faster to just then move up there and take the point. And meanwhile, recce section being pushed back by the mighty Schwimmwagen. Although the mighty Schwimmwagen actually taking quite a bit of damage, down to half health. And there we go. Brit is dead. And section up here getting... And now we're actually seeing quite a few sections out from Voules. And we're seeing... what else? A second MG42 out. So again, rather static, rather novice approach. Again, some players do seem to think MGs are the way forwards. Meine Herren, we shall win this war. We shall crush the Russians, the Italians, everyone. With the power of our heavy MGs. Which of course are not quite maneuverable, but we do not care. And of course we are seeing the immediate response from Voules. A mortar emplacement going down, and of course if OsisGreen was a bit more active, you know. In fact, he can even see it go down. He could just move up a Schwimmwagen, shoot it down, but OsisGreen here, of course, is just hanging about, waiting for the enemy to just, you know, get around to finishing it. You know, OsisGreen apparently being the gentleman here. You know, oh, go ahead, finish the mortar, bombard my men, what do I care? Not really solid play, though, and definitely not something that's going to help him up. I mean, as soon as you see a mortar placement up, you usually want to attack it viciously. Usually with a Schwimmwagen, that can really do a lot of damage, but too late now. The 3-inch mortar emplacement is up and going to bombard those crouch with a bit of righteous mortar fire. Schwimmwagen needs to pull back, needs to be repaired, and we are actually seeing a single squad of Voules Grenadiers out for OsisGreen. Infantry pinned, more moving up, the Schwimmwagen almost down. Troops a bit suppressed, mortars firing away. Infantry are flanking the MG in the building. Mortar rounds awfully close to hitting their own men, but there we go. 2 MG gunners immediately going down. Swiftly, brutally unit goes down. Oh, the MG went down apparently to a mortar round out of nowhere all of a sudden, I think. Or was it some other bastard who sorted it out? And we are seeing a casualty cleaning station going up now. MG shifting a bit, but again, I mean, not really sensible movement here by OsisGreen. Why am I saying that, you wonder? Because again, he's still within range of the mortar, of the bloody mortar. And he's moving the Shrimp Magnet upwards, not backwards to get it repaired. I mean, really. Not really solid unit preservation there. And there we go, MG gunner down. Pioneer flung away. Shrapnel tears his throat out, and now the MG's just getting hammered. Needs to retreat. Come on, OsisGreen. Show some unit preservation if you'd be so kind. Fultzker's moving up on the flank without any support. In that case, I mean, they are going to lose the infantry sections outright. So not really, you know, good handling by OsisGreen. Not really good tactical sense. And so on. And again, very reliant on the heavy machine guns. Again, something you do see within more novice plays, at least the way he's employing it. And a Pioneer squad went down. OsisGreen's unit preservation is debatable at the moment. MP40 is being equipped all of a sudden. Of course, that means skirmish phase. No buildings still going up. I mean, it's going to be helpful if they say do charge out into the open like they do here a bit. Although the Brits now have Bren guns, that is British light machine guns, for which to pummel the Krauts. A bit more of heavier firepower. Although they aren't heavy cover, the Volksguns can't actually touch back because they are not within range. So I mean, this is just, you know, again, another case of OsisGreen perhaps not entirely thinking things through. And there we go, Heinz bites the dust. He pays the price of OsisGreen's sins. At the same time, OsisGreen actually has most of the map except the victory point right next to his base. Not really sensible. Volksguns continue to suffer sensible losses without actually being able to fire back, basically ensuring the lieutenant is eventually going to get veterans. He feel basically no bloody effort. Shrimp Mag moving up, finally repaired. MB opening up on the infantry section there. Recce section going up to flank, nicely done there. Kampfkraft center going up secondly rather quickly. Field support truck arriving for Voules and the 1st Canadian Infantry. And then we've got the Bren sections moving up. He actually escaped the MG42, and at the same time we're seeing him moving in for the cutoff point. Really, you know, daring, aggressive play from the Brit player. That's actually nice to see, and he's not even blobbing up. That's actually clever. Although right here, of course, the MG42 is storming about at the same time. He's really pushing up forward everywhere. And the Bren gunners could get the Shrimp Mag, and they could get it. There we go. Bren guns penetrate the thin armor of the Shrimp Mag, lighting it on fire and killing the crew and lodging something very big away from, well, inches away from Harry's face. These chaps need to get out there. Come on, Voules. There we go, Recce section on retreat, although 2 burst into flames. And a Grenadier squad arrives now, some more tougher troops from the 16th Luftwaffe Felde Division, one of 2 Luftwaffe field divisions in Normandy. The other one fought in the American section. Generally, though, they never really performed very well, and they suffered heavy losses before, well, the remainders were basically used as replacements for other divisions, I believe. They were generally not that well equipped. I think some cases they actually had MG34s instead of 42s. And basically they didn't really have much better training either, and, well, basically part of Göring's vanity projects, to be honest. Grenadiers here getting assaulted by the infantry section with the Bren guns. No lieutenant, though, but at the same time they do manage to, you know, not run too far into the range of fire of the MG. Interesting enough, he's not even pushed it off. Grenadiers now joining in. Volksguns moving up. Have to be careful. If the Bren gunners focus them down, this could end up very badly. And there we go. Bren gunners target the Huns, and they open up, and there we go. Volksguns heavily take a lot of damage. Fritz goes down, left in the middle of the road. MG still not pulling up. Harassment going up on the flank. Lieutenant Jones not supporting his own bloody infantry. Not good there, actually a bit of a mistake from Voules. Usually you send in the captain to harass on flanks, not the lieutenant who you usually want to support your infantry's advances. MG setting up the Recce section, going to be charging straight into the MG5, caught in the middle of the road. Canadian men drop quickly, bloodily. convulsing as something terribly happens to them. The Grenadiers are still losing it, although Panzers right now on the way for OsisGreen. Pioneers with the flamethrowers push away the lieutenant. Mortar now on the way for OsisGreen. Interesting, but let's go look at Voules. Just going for the Stuart light tank. Headquarters command truck, casualty cleaning station, troops need reinforcement, perhaps a bit of healing. Grenadiers moving up with 3 men and barely any health. He needs veterancy for them. I mean, he's built the Kampfkraft Center, but he seems to have used only a bit of veterancy for his support units. Nothing for the Grenadiers. Piet's up for the sappers. Infantry sections moving about. Unsupervised infantry sections are moving about. Tisk Voules. Making a move up the right flanks to a right tank. And oh dear. OsisGreen doesn't really have anything to stop it. He doesn't have a pack. Troops marching straight into the MG42. And I mean, OsisGreen of course hasn't even bothered moving it. But at the same time, I mean, Voules ought to be expecting it. Instead, he's sort of advantage forward. But now we do see the Stuart arriving, opening up on the MG crew. Threatening to do terrible bodily harm. Bunker going up for OsisGreen and the 16 Luftwaffe, and there we go, MG gunner down to 1 man. Will he be able to do it for the final? No, he runs away. Now there's the other MG, which is also taking considerable damage, and there we go, MG fire from the Stuart actually knock it out. MG gunner down, mortar in trouble, Granatenwerfer, Rückzug, and there we go. Grenadiers and Volksguns moving up. Panzerschröcks and Panzerfaust ready to dislodge the mighty Stuart light tank. A bit too slow there, I think, from Voules to move away. Infantry section actually formed. Bloody nice. Cannons is shot. Oh, gets the Grenadier squad. Gets the Grenadiers and... oh dear, ruins the Panzerschreck. And meanwhile as well, pack out for OsisGreen. Stuart is going to need repairs from the sappers. Might be an idea not to place it in the middle of the open, close to the opponent's point, so he can possibly see it. Just a mild suggestion there. And Duffy. Oh yes, Duffy always taking a verbal beating from his squad mates. And there we go, MG pulling up again, medic bunker, mortar, pack ready. At least he managed to repair before moving forward, opening up that pack. Those actually pretty poorly placed. I mean, what's going on over the screen? It's not going to hit anything unless it moves straight up there. Bit of nice harassment going on there, although again, the unsupervised section, why not? The captain, why not get him up there first and get him healed? Voules. Get that MG out of there. Pack opens up, immediately startling the pack. Stuart crew's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Granatenwerfer fires away. 2 kills of fire. Being a bit bold there. Ooh, that was bloody close for Voules. Infantry section needs to get out of there. Save the Bren, men. Down to 2 men, and the Germans quickly retreat in the face of this. Slit trenches up. Holding up the right flank in the name of King George. Grenadiers pushing up here. Could try and flank up behind the infantry section. That would be a nice move, I think, by OsisGreen. Stuart is going to be neat repairs. Might also want to pull a bit back further, so it's not such an front-line target. So things do matter when you want to repair armor. You don't want to say, the enemy attacking by sheer coincidence. And oh dear, there's a damaged tank right in the middle of my path of attack. Whatever shall I do, Heinz? Would you please enlighten me? Yes, mein Führer. I mean, Herr General. Grenadiers pushing up here against the infantry section, opening up. They're down to, close to half health, Looking jolly nice, and there we go. Renfield went down. No grenades, so I mean from here, that's a really nice spot for a good Stielgranate. And there we go. Missing the opportunity. Voules does not and retreats. He legs it. Captain taking a point. Mortar firing away. 8-centimeter mortar rounds flying through the air. Not really hitting anything. The British mortar is actually quite close to 8 centimeters. I believe it's something around 7.6, 76 millimeters actually. What 3 inches is. Unless the British had different inches from the American inches. God damn it, why can't everybody just use the metric system? Grenadiers are advancing straight up, coming within the fire of the Stuart. A nice hit. I mean, 12 kills from the Stuart. I mean, he's definitely got something out of it. And the captain needs to retire. Bren Gunner's moving up. 8 kills on that one. Quickly suppressed though by the MG. Mortar finding away. 3 kills on the mortar now. Another poor Brit dies. Pack sneaks up. Mortar round, I think, catches another sap, and at the same time finding going on here. Fox gets caught out in the open by another Bren section now in the trench, firing away, providing glorious supportive fire. A Recce section went down, major casualties indeed, and at the same time a Cromwell's out. Stuart though went down. I mean, he never moved it. The pack just had an easy time. Voules. Again, be careful with your armor. Usually you don't want the armor at the front, usually wanted more behind it, so you can sort of react to where the enemy is counterattack with the armor. Don't have it like a fortress. But Cromwell now moving out. Commander is up, upgrade complete. The Cromwell was a much faster, actually, British tank. It was actually quite fast, and it was actually so fast and, well, basically nimble, that it was actually used as a reconnaissance tank by the British. Which actually meant the divisions which had the Cromwells in the reconnaissance battalion and a full regiment of armour as well, you tended to have quite a few tanks. Pioneers though need to be careful. They were closer to falling for the old candy and the threats trick. Pioneers moving in. I mean, if he's going to assault the trenches again, do it in numbers so they can't just focus you down again. And again, don't send in troops piecemeal like he's doing here. He should have waited for the other pioneers at the very least. That way, there's going to be more targets. Instead, what's going to happen here? They deal with this one, then the other moves up. This one's gone, and then they can just deal with this one peacefully. Cromwell, though, again, without him to support, clears out the pack, but now there's a horde of grenadiers with punchers legs up. At the same time, though, a 25-pounder gun is going up. And, of course, what's an interesting thing about the British system, which was basically, they still rated theirs one according to a much older system, which basically sort of rated a gun not on the caliber of the gun, that is the millimeters of sort of all that, but instead they actually rated it on how much the shell weighed. And there we go, Panzerix knocks it out. Again, support should have been there, and the Cromwell should have gotten out faster. But now the 25-pounder gun fires. First shot hits nothing. Second shot, though, absolutely mutilates the Grenadiers and the pack, which had been recruited. Absolutely devastating. Nasty hit right there from the 25-pounder gun, which I think saw first action during the fighting in North Africa, where it was also actually used as an anti-tank gun. Which, of course, is actually a slightly fun fact about most artillery guns. They always had a few anti-tank rounds in case they actually needed them. And the Germans in particular, during the earlier fights of the war, when they actually didn't have as many great anti-tank guns, actually used the 105mm howitzer alongside the Flak 88 for heavy anti-tank duties. You usually only hear about the Flak 88, but they also used the more howitzers, for anti-tank fighting. So, fun little fact there, a fun part about, what it means to be a artillery gunner as well. All grown up. Again, absolutely lovely sarcasm coming out there from the British whenever they do something. And while they might not be always fun to play against with or play with, they always have great lines, I think. Cromwell moves up. Another Cromwell out for Voules. The first Canadian being supported by some British armour, probably from the 11th Armour, providing a quick company of Cromwells. Thing, though, to remember, mortaring a trench is not going to do much. You need fire or grenades to get them out. For some reason, mortars do absolutely bollocks. And again, priorities do not set about salvaging stuff in front of the enemy. OsisGreen needs to work on that. Mildly put. Fultz Grenadiers moving up. Artillery going in, and another howitzer strike just absolutely damages everything. Pack quickly sorted out. Nasty stuff that, nasty stuff that. And he could actually just fire on the ground here and basically finish off the pack. And he also needs to Cromwell repaired now, though either way he needs to do something. Not leave it at the front and get it repaired again. There's points for repairing, there's points, for not. At the front line is usually where you do not repair your tanks. Trust me, unless you're absolutely, utterly desperate, it's your only Tiger tank or something. I mean, in this case, though, it's not. He's actually doing reasonably well. So in that case, he should try and preserve his armor. So, you know, just saying. Voules, if you are listening. Let's speed this up. Small assault going up here. Also, another thing I'd like to critique here. Let's just do it right here about the point here as we switch. I mean, the placement of the howitzer is not really a very sensible one either. It's, you know, it's quite out in the open. There's several gaps where you can basically just hit in and knock it out. Particularly this one is completely unguarded. I mean, we can see he's sort of digging in here, and there's, I mean, another problem for Voules. He's actually going completely defensive. He's digging in and basically saying, I'm not moving anymore. Jerry, you're going to have to come to me. And certainly he's trying to a bit here. Though again, piecemeal, not good. He probably should have used the grenadiers up first. Grenaded, then moved in the flamethrowers, but I digress. But he needs something to break him out of this mess, and he possibly also needs veterancy too. But so far the Germans a bit stuck. Anyways, let's move back. It's not quite time for the mid-game analysis, I think. And there we go, grenade into the trench, quickly leaving it. Runs into a mine, actually nicely done that. The British player mined. Pioneer squad went down on retreat, I believe. Bit of a shame there. Let's just speed this up a bit. Trench is getting mortared. Again, you know, also another thing, I mean, for the Wehrmacht player as against the British, you do need to be more aggressive, and he's, you know, not quite good at that. He's just too much, you know, building up resources and allowing the British player to further fortify and dig in. Moving up here, and I do believe you see some artillery. Could be... No, it's not artillery doctrine. Officer artillery is actually commander artillery. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure those grenadiers would have been dead. I mean, that's, again, one of the slightly unfortunate things about the British. The officer artillery is sort of like you call in, it immediately arrives. That's not quite right.
The enemy advances.
Speeding things up again. Commanders pulling in behind enemy lines. Moving in to take a point. Pack moving up again. And again, the Cromwell seems to have a bit of trouble, you know, moving. And again, also basically just presenting itself as an easy target. 25-pounder fires again. Probably hoping to snog out the pack. And there we go. Commanders fighting as a horde of grenadiers charges forwards. 16 grenadiers. Quite a bit of firepower. And they actually keep moving. I mean, OsisGreen actually doesn't even pay attention. He loses several men on this. Although then this suddenly lobs a ton of grenades at him. He actually goes for terror. Interestingly enough, looks like he's going for the King Tiger. I do believe it's actually time for the mid-game analysis. I mean, we've already done a bit, but again, I mean, the German player's a bit more on the back foot. He's taking too much time and actually pushing forward. He's a bit too blobby, and he's definitely attacking the wrong points and attacking piecemeal at times. He needs to work on that. He's going for the Panzer command as well. He could possibly succeed, but he needs to be quick about it. And he needs to hit this point first. He needs that 25-pounder gun dead, gone, removed somewhere else. Voules doing quite nicely, although I'm a bit sad to see the Stag Hound. I would have preferred an armoured command tank. Instead we see this thing. Oh well. He should still be able to pull off. I do think he needs to push a bit more over here towards the flanks, you know, diverting resources away from here, what was most likely going to be OsisGreen's main push, because again, OsisGreen does not seem to be that imaginative and that likely to attack on the flanks. Let's return to the fight. Let's just speed this up a bit again. Apologies, but not really much going on here, not much to point out as such. The 16th Luftwaffe is floundering, although now getting a bit of support from the, I suspect, 9th SS Panzer Division. Pack recruit firing away at the trench again, doing a little damage, revealing itself, of course, to the howitzer. It looks like this time it's firing straight into the base, actually. Mining engagement going on here, commanders opening up, switching through all the planks of timber. Going up, and there we go. The grenadiers are going to get cut down on the retreat. I fear the Sten guns fired away. And he dies a hero. Well, not quite a hero's death, but close. Other grenadiers squad up. Grenades getting locked at the grenadiers. The grenadiers actually out in the open. Not good. further artillery going on here. Now a Firefly out for Voules. Panzer Command is up. What shall be up from it? Point being taken. Again, fighting is rather quickly. And that was going to happen. Obviously, he did not see that for some reason. And instead just wasted Voules Grenadiers. Commanders are advancing though. Now a bit more exposed they are against 2 Grenadiers. And Grenadier squad with an MG actually providing a problem for the Commandos. Bullets firing away. The Luftwaffe Grenadiers now a bit more highly equipped. Pax number 2 sneaking up. No idea why he insists on doing that. And he just seems to be firing there because he's likely to catch something, and he does so. So there you go. Oh well. That was definitely a bit silly. And again, I have no idea why he insists on attacking from that angle. You know, he could attack from here much more easily, much more safely. And again, the whole creeping up pack tactics is, you know, something that should not again be sent in piecemeal if you ever do it. But again, that is all OsisGreen does. Sending in troops one at a time, and then again, it's a terrible strategy when it comes to attacking on defense. Again, he keeps losing troops so pointlessly, so mindlessly. But now he's found the gap, and he's found the 25-pounder gun, and he's going to bloody well end it. And there we go. 25-pounder gun is gone. Grenadiers need to be a bit careful. Coming under fire from the Bren gunners. Panther is on the way. King Tiger ready. Getting blasted here. Grenades into the trench. Quickly popping out. Popping out right in front of the MG, but the Grenadiers need to retreat. There we go. Full retreat from OsisGreen. Or Green, if you will. Panther ready. Panzerkampfwagen 5. More Voules Grenadiers with MP40s. Interesting. We'll of course have to see if the MG actually ends up paying off, but I mean it's not necessarily a bad idea. As in particular, it gains a bit of extra suppression fire against British troops. Panther has actually been stolen now by Voules, by commandos. Panther again sent in on his own with no support whatsoever. Instead, he's going to get completely hammered from all sides by the Firefly, by the Pack, by the Cromwell. Not really sensible armoured tactics right there by OsisGreen. And again, the main topic at hand here is, again, is, you know, don't just send in units one at a time. Grenadiers, though, pushing forwards, doing some damage. Trench is getting grenaded. And the Brits suffer heavily, but the Grenadiers need to get out there. They're also suffering heavily. Veterans, do up for the Grenadiers. The Luftwaffe pulls back again. They're now slightly supported with some SS armor. And continue to fire against the trench. I mean, these chaps are largely safe again, except grenades and fire. And there we go. Grenadiers advancing up, coming under fire from the trenches, desperately fighting in what was otherwise a grave from their comrades. Grenade getting lobbed. Stielgranate. Clearing out the trench completely. The Brits are dead. The trench is gone, and the Grenadiers are just getting murdered out in the open. And looks like a demo charge is going out down there as a sort of improvised mine. No veterancy for the Panthers. He doesn't even have Pioneers to repair them. And he needs to pull that Panther away before someone pushes up and does some damage there. Propaganda all forces away one commando squad. The other one moves up. No attempt from the Firefly to actually move in and just get one good solid shot again. You know, now Voules is making the same mistake of just sending in troops one at a time without real proper support. Artillery, though, gets the mortar, I believe. And it's time to return to Voules. But this is definitely not looking good for the Huns, for Jerry, for the Krauts. Speeding up again, and slight push there. Commanders, though, quickly counter-attack with their Sten guns in hand, getting mortared by someone, probably their own. And floating 1,200 manpower, really, Voules? How about using it a bit more sensible? How about some tanks, you know? Firefly, Cromwells, just push in and end the job, kill the Hun. The Grenadiers are actually having 11 kills. That's quite nice. Falls away the Commandos. With sufficient superior German firepower. He has spotted the demo charge. I mean, one spot I think you can always see them. I think he's trying to clear it out. Someone hiding in there. Probably to avoid the attention of OsisGreen. Mortar emplacement firing away again. Demo charge went off. Not really doing much. I think even that was the mortar that actually set it off. Bit of a shame. But Königstiger has arrived. Moving forwards in the name of the fatherland. Grenadiers a bit under fire.
Italian HQ has confirmed it can start securing resources.
Panther almost repaired. Needs veterans 1 though. Needs veterans 1. King Tiger moving forwards. Grenadiers supporting. That is good. That's nice. But he needs more Grenadiers. He needs more support. He also needs to empty that building with whatever's in it. Commanders pushed away with the propaganda war. Commanders moving up on the flank. He's actually got 3 commando squads. Good lord. Pack. Getting a nice flanking shot, though fails to penetrate the otherwise thick side armor even of the King Tiger. Sappers taking a huge hit. And there we go. Firefly moving up, firing away at the flank of the Firefly. Commanders tearing into the Grenadiers. Getting 1 squad even. Not the MG squad, but still not very good for OsisGreen. He's lost a lot of infantry. He's lost a lot of units. He's bleeding dry. His Tiger is already down to half health. The Firefly is simply tearing into it with the highly... amazing 17-pounder gun, which could penetrate a lot of armor, as you might notice due to the barrel length. Very high velocity gun, very powerful, and certainly could tango with most German armor. Stack, and for some reason being pushed in, going to take quite a few hits. Grenadiers need to fire. Artillery going in on the Panzers. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There we go, direct hit, main gun destroyed. Grenadier squad was in the building, was actually not aided the fighting. I mean, really, OsisGreen, and why not get a repair bunker up so you can at least have some extra help with those tanks without you having to constantly manage it. And now the Commanders push forward once more, straight into the line of fire of the 2 waiting Panzers. Firefly still not moving in. Voules is being way too passive for my liking, to be frank. Pack recruit. MP40 folks goes moving up. Commanders getting blasted. No idea why he keeps sending them up without any proper anti-tank support, but there we go. Firefly finally moved up. Pack also finally moved up. Artillery going in on the tanks again. And the King Tiger actually moves forward straight into the line of fire. Damage engine. I think this is the end for the Königstiger. And there we go. A glorious kill for the Commonwealth. The King Tiger being now a smouldering wreck. Having not properly used his armoured assets, Voules is definitely considering larger problems. Recrewing the pack again. And he actually gets the Firefly. And Voules is actually just continually training commando squads. And also floating a lot of resources. Speeding things out a bit. Commandos charging in again. Panther now the only thing there left. Pack overwhelmed. Grenadiers move up with your MGs. Stealing the pack right beneath the nose of the Panther. They even rather rascally tried to get away with it. Actually means the Brits now have 2 packs, the Germans have none. If that isn't depressing, then I don't know what is. Digging a trench again. Another infantry section reformed. A ton of infantry for the Commonwealth. Cancelling and charging into the Grenadiers. And again, note, here's a thing to note about the Grenadiers again with the LMG. It only fires when you're not moving. So really should have stopped a bit further before charging straight onto the face. There we go, though. Commanders taking quite a bit of damage. The MG just tears through them like a saw through paper. Not looking good for the Germans. Victory points are ticking down. Armored resources are limited. Infantry resources limited.
Capturing a strategic sector.
Getting blasted. Poor handling. Clumping up next to points. Exposing the rear of his armor. Of course, the constant piecemeal attacks. So many mistakes. And no artillery support either. I mean, he could have considered, say, you know, getting a half-track equipment with some rockets and just blasting the Brits into submission. And now all the things we see in Austin flak panzer rolling out. Not really going to help him either, I think. Repairing the Panther, pushing up again. Full assault. Ostwind straight into the middle of everything, between all the packs, between the Piets. Really, again, OsisGreen just seems to be a bit unsure what to actually do. And the only thing that really gets something killed are the Grenadiers with the MG. Artillery going in, they're on the Grenadiers again. Oh, it's actually decoy smoke. Nicely done. Bunker up. He's actually, I think he's going to be spamming repair bunkers all of a sudden. Panther, though, needs to pull away. Pull away. There's lots of anti-tank guns and other nasty things. Another Firefly rolls out. Commander suffering heavily. No, not actually heavily. Mostly getting tickled at the moment. But not a lot left really from OsisGreen to really resist this with. Actually a medic bunker up, interestingly enough.
Target secured. Victory point is ours.
At least move out once more in the name of the fatherland of the 16th Luftwaffe Felddivision. Another demo charge back as an improvised mine. Panther moves out, and now we actually do see a repair bunker up. Interesting. Interesting. Speeding things up a bit. Pushing forwards. Grenades getting lopped. Lots of grenades, in fact. Commandos taking heavy casualties in the process. Another Grenadier squad with an MG pushing up. Oh dear, be careful, be careful. Demo charge, Heinz. No! No! Oh! Voules failed to detonate. He's just going in madly. Guns, no, not even guns blazing, because he's still not finding the MG. He's being absolutely insane. Just charging in with no sense of how to use the MG. No, he does some damage. Ultimately, he also takes considerable damage himself. That was an absolutely terrible assault. Apparently a V1 rocket is now ready, I hear. A last gamble by OsisGreen and the 16th Luftwaffe Felddivision to save whatever honor is left, and still no veterancy for the Panthers. No veterancy one at the very least would even make them much more of a problem for the Commonwealth to deal with. And another slit trench is going down. I mean, Voules is just digging in and he's allowed to do it. I mean, that's the worst part as well, because, I mean, if OsisGreen had handled this clearly, he could have just handled one trench at a time, just clearing out, doing damage, pushing forwards. I mean, he could just do it here, roll in with the Panzers, knock out everything here, you know, do nicely. But he isn't. He's just resorting to some pretty clumsy, even frontal assaults.
Yes, comrade.
Now, finally getting the veterancy for the Panthers.
Ready. Veterancy gained.
Could be he might be gathering up for one last fateful assault. One push to end them all. To destroy the Tommies. And this time the Canadians. Actually, don't know if they just refer to them as Canadian Tommies or something else, actually. Or if they refer to them as Americans. Panthers are advancing, pushing in from every angle. Good. Good in that sense. Infantry following up as well. Paxo are firing away. Commanders in the trench. I mean, the Grenadiers again are not really paying attention to all the other things. Firefly out of control. Artillery going in. Foster is getting murdered. Squad down. Panthers advancing, getting exposed to heavy fire. Flank is exposed. And there we go. The Cromwell actually knocks it out. I think, or was it the Firefly? Either way, Panther is down. Cromwell is down in return. Absolutely botched assault right there from OsisGreen. And now the second Panther's just getting absolutely hammered with anti-tank fire. Doing absolutely poorly there. Panis now And a V1 goes in, knocking out one of the packs. That was... Well, I hadn't intended to speed up there, but that's my fault. But, really? A V1 right there. Again, so many mistakes from OsisGreen, and his assaults are getting more and more desperate and more clumsy, not really hanging together. Now he's getting a Panzer IV. But I'd say at this stage the fight is pretty much over. Although the thing is, I mean, if Voules has been a bit more aggressive, he might have been able to end this fight much earlier. I mean, Voules has just been basically sitting around. Now there's an MG right in front of him. I do think we see the commanders moving up, going to pick up the Kraut MG. The Spandau, as it was known, actually. There we go. Commanders taking some losses.
Attention. The enemy advances.
Panzer IV moving in, and, well, pretty quickly getting knocked out. Commanders popping in, taking the last victory point. Response from the Germans is as quick as it can be. And again, he doesn't seem to, acknowledge the fighting first. Instead, he's just rushing in. Thus also meaning he doesn't get anything out of the LMG until too late. There we go. They're quickly sorting out some of the commandos. Grenading. But they are overwhelmed. Down to one man, and playback over, game over. Horrible loss for the 16th Luftwaffe Division, tasked with protecting one of the entryways into Caen. It failed brutally. Although certainly the British player should not be, patting himself on the back too much. He was, very much too passive, very much too much about digging trenches. Poor placement of the artillery, by the way, right there. Could have done with some mines with barbed wire there, although of course at this stage it doesn't matter. And his armor handling wasn't too good either, leaving out in the open easily to knock out, not really doing much with it. So several flaws there from a British player, but ultimately he handled better than the German player, who kept throwing away units one at a time. His armor tactics were not really good either. No veterancy until it was too late. No artillery support, no any real support, and again, he never really tried, to do some reconnaissance, and kept, embarking on pretty daft suicide attacks on one very narrow lane. Again, always be careful about that. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed something from this match. Hope you learned something from it. That's much more important. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends? If you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? Feel free to provide feedback in the comments. What did you think of the British player? What do you think of the German player? Stuff like that, and just swear you'll never do something like that. What the German player did. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and always be aggressive. Always attack.